Hey guys, so Kristina of FullyRawKristina just put out a video called Raw Vegan on $20 a day, where she aims to show how you can eat a fully raw food diet for $20 a day. And the intention, as she said, is to show how affordable it can be to eat raw. Of course, that is ridiculous. As many of you already know, the vast majority of us cannot afford a $600 a month food budget. The average American spends about $330 per month on food. So Kristina is clearly out of touch with what most people can afford. Even worse, the diet she's advocating for is inadequate. It is low in overall fat and protein, including essential amino acids. It's also low in essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin E, iron, selenium, and zinc. Oh, and almost everything she buys in the video is organically grown. Organically grown produce is not nutritionally superior, nor is it safer, since the amount of pesticide residue on conventional produce is extremely low, and plus, organic produce is certainly not pesticide-free. Plus, as I talk about here, organic produce is the less vegan option since, for one, it cannot use synthetic fertilizers. Only natural fertilizers can be used, and natural fertilizers usually contain animal waste, bone meal, etc., and this is usually a product of factory farming. Organic produce also tends to produce lower yields, which means that more land has to be used to produce the same amount of produce that would be produced using conventional methods. More land means more displaced and killed animals. Finally, is promoting such an unaffordable vegan diet good for veganism in general? Does it not perpetuate the notion that veganism is for the privileged few who can afford to shop exclusively at Whole Foods? If we have any hope of spreading veganism beyond our little club, we need to make it more inclusive, and I don't see how promoting a diet that is unaffordable, unsustainable, and unappealing, I don't see how this achieves that goal. And that's it, really. But having read the responses to the comment I posted on Kristina's video, as well as responses to what I posted on Facebook, I know there are some objections. But you can spend less. Those defending Kristina's video have pointed out that she clearly states that you can spend more than $20 a day or less than $20 a day eating a fully raw diet. Well, less is certainly a start, but how much less? When I ate raw, similar to how Kristina eats with a focus on fruit, it was very hard for me to get around, $300 a month for just myself. And to do that, I had to omit or severely limit the foods that I loved the most, like papaya and tomatoes, since they're typically more expensive. And I also had to focus on the cheaper calorie-dense foods like bananas and dates. Yeah, that shit got old. So instead, I usually spent around $450 per month eating non-organic produce. I was able to do that because I lived with my parents at the time and had literally $0 in rent to pay. Today, there's no way I could afford that budget. I could afford that $450 per month. And now, because of the diet that I eat, which is focused on beans and whole grains, my food budget is less than half of that. The question I have for Kristina is, why not make a raw vegan on $10 a day video? That's still expensive for a lot of people, so how about $5 a day? If it's truly possible to spend less, why not make that video? Wouldn't it be better to make that video? Wouldn't you get more people trying fully raw if the diet were actually affordable? I think Kristina didn't do this because, like I said, she's out of touch. She really thinks that a $600 per month food budget is affordable. She says as much in the video.
I really want to show people that it's possible to live and eat this way on an affordable budget.
I'm not chastising Kristina for not being familiar with most of our financial situations. She's just ignorant on the topic. It's like when Happy Healthy Vegan put out that video trying to show how affordable it can be to shop organic at farmers markets. They were completely ignorant of the fact that most of us don't have access to 70 different farmers markets year round, nor can we afford to spend $3 per pound on low-calorie fruits. They just don't know, and that's okay. But there are consequences to videos like these. Happy Healthy Vegan removed theirs, but Kristina's still stands. And it stands as yet another video, yet another example that equates veganism with extremism. I don't think that's a good message to send. But it's only one day. Some have said that it doesn't matter that the diet Kristina presents in this video, that it doesn't meet nutrient needs because it's only for one day. And while it's true that you don't have to meet all of your nutrient needs every single day, this assumes that you are going to meet those needs on other days and make up for the losses, on those other days. But is this true for the FullyRaw diet? No. If you look at the What I Ate Today videos that Kristina has uploaded, they are very similar to this day. Low in overall protein, fat, low in calcium, iron, selenium, zinc. This day is no exception. This is an unhealthy diet, and as I talk about here, it is a completely unnecessary one. Raw food diets are backed up only by one, fallacies, like the appeal to nature fallacy, that raw food is natural, so we should avoid cooked food, and two, pseudoscience, like that cooked food is dead food, so we should avoid cooked food, or that cooking denatures protein to the point where our body can't absorb it. There is no reason to avoid cooking. Cooking helps to break down hard to digest starches while also improving bioavailability of certain nutrients like protein. This allows us to enjoy some really, really healthy, nutrient-dense, disease-fighting foods, like beans. If we really want more people to go and stay vegan, we need to promote a vegan diet that meets nutrient needs, not to mention one that is delicious. Not many people are going to find a giant salad with an entire bunch of raw kale and a salt-free dressing very appetizing, no matter how beautiful it looks on Instagram. But your health comes first. Some have said that your health is the most important thing, that your health comes first. And this is what Kristina says in the video, that, she basically concedes that raw food diets are expensive, but that you'll save money elsewhere, like on health bills, prescription drugs, and electricity in your home. Electricity? Okay, if you aren't cooking, you'll likely save some, but the main source is still heating and cooling the house, not stovetop or oven use. More importantly, is this potential savings in your electricity bill actually going to offset the increase in food cost? Very likely not. The average electricity bill in the United States is about $100 a month. Again, the average food budget in America is about $330 a month. So $430 a month total. Even if eating fully raw and not, cooking reduced the bill down to $0 per month, again, it would not, but let's say it did, increasing the food budget to $600 per month would still be a net increase. $600 is clearly more than $430. What about savings on health bills and prescription drugs? Going raw is not going to eliminate the need for every doctor visit and every drug. Someone taking medication for bipolar disorder, for instance, is still going to need that medication no matter how much fruit they eat. But there are certain drugs and certain visits that going raw vegan could reduce the risk for. Obviously, eating less saturated fat certainly reduces the risk for heart disease and heart attacks, and also the need for statins. Eating no processed meat or red meat reduces the risk for colon cancer as well as stomach cancer. Eating more fruits and vegetables reduces the risk for various cancers and other diseases. But this can also be achieved with a well-planned vegan diet that obviously includes cooked food. Since this diet is also lower in saturated fat and cholesterol, does not include processed meat or red meat, and also includes frequent consumption of fruits and vegetables. And there are risks to eating a raw food diet that are lessened by including cooked foods and certain processed foods. Again, raw food diets tend to be low in certain essential nutrients like calcium. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure treating bone fractures and osteoporosis isn't cheap. When a mostly cooked vegan diet that focuses on grains and beans is way cheaper than the fruit-based raw diet that Kristina is promoting, and it offers the same benefits plus some without the risks, what is the point of promoting raw exactly? But the community. This is more of a general complaint I've received on this video as well as other videos. The notion that by doing these response videos to other vegans criticizing things that they've said, things that they've promoted, that this is somehow bad for the vegan community. First, I am not vegan to be vegan or to be part of a community. I am vegan because I believe it is wrong to harm sentient beings for no other reason than taste and convenience. I advocate for veganism because I want to convince people to do less harm to animals. One way I do that is by doing response videos like this one. I think these are very important primarily because they show a more normal, sane side to veganism that isn't always represented well, particularly here on YouTube. I believe it's important to show that not all vegans are against science and reason. We aren't all anti-vax, anti-GMO, anti-gluten, anti-coffee, anti-fat, anti-birth control, etc. We also aren't all misanthropes, anti-natalist, or advocates of other faulty logic, like that use is always abuse. These beliefs and many others are fringe beliefs, aka alienating beliefs, that many well-known vegans regularly promote. By doing videos like these, response videos like this one, or like the recent critique of Freely's Why I Don't Want Kids, I'm employing possibly the best approach to tackling these issues and bringing normalcy to veganism simply because response videos are more likely to be seen. For example, when a non-vegan sees Freely's non-vegan should die video, they may unsurprisingly be turned off by it and turned off by veganism in general. But maybe they see my response in the sidebar or a response from another sensible vegan and decide to watch it. Maybe they see that not all vegans are misanthropic, hateful, out of touch, pick your adjective. Maybe they now see veganism in a new light, possibly opening them up to reducing their animal product consumption in the future or even going vegan. In fact, I regularly receive comments and messages saying just this. Second, do we really want veganism to look more like a community than it already does? Doesn't vegan cult get thrown around enough as it already is? This is also something I hear a lot about from both non-vegans and vegans. The number of times I have heard from vegans who say they don't like to tell people they're vegan because they don't want to be associated with the vitriol and pseudoscience that seems to define the vegan movement is pretty telling. Finally, what is the alternative? What should I do when I see vegans like Kristina and Hannah promoting diets that are not only unhealthy, but that perpetuate the notion that veganism isn't really an ethical issue, but merely a shitty fad diet? Or when I see Freely and Harley alienating virtually everyone with their pro-vasectomy, anti-procreation rhetoric. Just keep my mouth shut because, hey, they are vegan. Yeah, it's really no wonder so many think veganism is a cult. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, if you have any comments or questions, you can leave them down below. And if you want to subscribe. And if you want to support me, you can do so at patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. Thank you again, and I will have a new video very soon.